Hi, Grace Hart here, and welcome to Beyond Domestic Violence. Today we are talking about disassociation and body parts. And before I go any further, please make sure that you're listening to this in a safe environment. Please don't listen to it while driving or, walking around. It can actually be a trigger with what I'm about to say. Okay. So in general, I'm sharing just my point of view. I'm not a specialist or an expert. It's just truly from my own research and experiences that I'm sharing things. So always speak to an expert. So in my experience and with what I've read, when you feel any pain in your body, that's a sign of a disassociation. Now, what I mean by that is your body is creating pain there to say, hey, there's a trauma here. We need to let go of this. Otherwise, we're going to keep on bringing people, situations, circumstances in my life or into your life to match that, so that the trauma can be released. And if you'd like to know more about that, Peter Levine's work is brilliant. Highly recommend it. So the other part is when you're so disassociated that you won't even go there. In other words, you've separated from your body or that part. Do you have, for example, a part of your body that you just don't like being touched there? It just makes you feel weird. Or it might make you feel more than weird. You might have an actual reaction if someone touches you. They're like, please don't touch me there. And a way to work out where those parts are in your body is spend some time with someone that you trust and care about, that cares about you, that doesn't judge you, that empowers you, someone you feel really safe, secure, and supported with. It can be a friend, it can be a professional. However, what you want to do is just ask them to just lightly, maybe an inch above your body, just with consciousness, with awareness, just get them to slowly, really slowly move their hand over every part of your body. Now, you can be completely closed for this. It's not about, you don't want to be vulnerable. So wear something that makes you feel super comfortable. You can even be in a blanket if you've had extreme experiences of trauma. Just whatever you feel comfortable in, whether it's in bed, on the sand, on the earth, wherever. And just get them to do that. And there's no speaking. There's just truly just presence. And you're just aware. And when I say no speaking, I mean no chit-chat. And there's no significance on this either. You're not trying to find something or, it's really just about being present, right? Being present with no judgment, with no point of view, just like, oh, what's here? And so as their hand just moves over your body, you might feel either uncomfortable or you kind of just duck out, or you might feel heat, or you might feel like, oh no, that feels really strange. And just pay attention. Okay, right elbow or whatever it is. And then just let them do the whole process. Another thing you can do, which is one of Peter Levine's exercises, and I think I've mentioned it once before, is the shower work. So if you've got a head of a shower that can move, what you need to do, or what he recommends, is just have the water go on all parts of your body, but one at a time. And when it's, for example, he says start with your palm. So you'll put the palm up to the water and you'll say, this is my body. This is my right palm. And then words to the effect of just bringing it home. In other words, if it has been separated from you or abandoned or pushed away, or it might be a part of your body that you think is ugly or you're embarrassed by it or whatever it is, apologize. Just say, I'm so sorry that I've pushed you away, and please come back. I can't be all of me without you. And you just go to all the body parts with the water. Now, flipping back to the exercise of you lying down with somebody or sitting, you don't have to be lying down, just whatever position you're comfortable in. But you need to be relaxed. So standing's probably not a good one. And so when that person puts their hand all over your body and you notice, okay, at the end you notice, oh, okay, it was 3 parts that were a bit, don't want you to go there. So depending on how much you don't want them to go there. So if it was just more oh yeah, I noticed something, there was something there, then just get them to put their hand above that spot again and just bring your awareness to it. And this is about trauma work. So it is about allowing the time for your body to release. And again, with no significance. In fact, the research shows usually when the body releases, it's just really quick and easy. It doesn't really have to look traumatic. It can look like diarrhea. It can look like, a bit of crying, etc. on the extreme ends. But generally speaking, it's this beautiful energetic that just happens so beautifully, like a flower opening up. And so you can just be with the energy of that body part and just talk to it. And you're not looking to judge. You're just there. You're there like when, a friend's upset. You're not there to fix them or, give them your point of view or tell them what to do. A true friend just says, hey, how are you? What's up? And I've got your back while you go through this, whatever this is. I'm here. And it's not I'm here to fix. I'm here to talk. I'm here to impel my points of view. It's I'm just here. I love you and I'm here. And then you'll just notice. You'll notice whether there's heat or maybe you might have a little bit of a movement, a shudder, a shake or whatever it is. And just be present with it. Now remember, when you're releasing trauma, you can release things that are in the fight, flight, freeze. So if you find yourself tensing up, that could be a fight part. So you can help that by just making movements like you're fighting. For example, a lot of people, when they have fighting released from the body, might find they have tension in the jaws or their jaw. And so how you can help that is just maybe tighten your jaw or pretend you're biting something. Because what it is, it's past trauma and we are animals. And so it can look like running away for the it can look like running away if you're engaging a flight part. So if you find that you feel like that nervousness that you want to run away, then actually start moving your feet like you're running. Give the body an okay. It's okay to run. Whatever that past thing was that you couldn't run in the past, you can run now and just let it run. Same thing with the clenched teeth, clenched jaw. Allow that. It helps to make sound like you're biting on something. Make it. But you're not doing it to force something. You've got to let the body actually make these. You're just sort of going, hey, would you like to try this? You're just sort of supporting it as the body is choosing. And yes, sometimes you can, energetically show them like, well, if I move my feet like running, does that help you? And then you'll notice it'll be feeling like, that's just silly. It doesn't feel like it's doing anything. Then no, the body's not choosing that. But if you start moving your feet like it's running and you can actually feel the energy getting stronger and stronger to be released, great, keep going. And this is not an arduous thing. This is not a time-consuming thing. It's no different to how when you see, like I've always said, I cuddle my dog way too much. I should have ordered a dog that enjoyed cuddling as much as I do. And so I hug her, and I apologize. I go, I really need a hug right now, so I'm going to hug you if that's okay. And she looks at me like, all right. But as soon as I finish, especially when I give really big ones, she gets off and she does a shake, right? And it's all over. She wasn't trapped there, I promise. I did let her know. And I do listen. Like if she doesn't want to, I'll go, I really feel like cuddling you right now, but I'm not going to. I get that it's not the right time. So it's the same thing with the trauma. Just allow the body to dictate to you, to tell you, no, I don't want to do that now. And it also works the other way in that, I was doing a release. I just woke up one morning and I was sort of, the way I was in the bed curled, I was like, wow, this is really kind of curled up tight. And I was just curious. And it was part of my car accident. I had 48 breaks in a car accident. And I just recognized straight away, oh, it's that. And I just knew it wasn't time. I had a Zoom conference to do and a couple of appointments, a couple of sessions and a busy day. So I just said to my body, hey, beautiful, I get that this is something here and I'm really happy to spend time with you. However, it doesn't work for me right now. But when I come back and when I do this, I've got time here. Does that work for you? And the body's like, yeah. And then you do it. So, it is about a communion with your being and body. So the other thing I wish to say is you might come across parts where it's like, don't go there. Don't touch it. I don't want to have anything to do with it. And for example, with the water, you don't even want water on it. And that's okay. So what I suggest, if it's okay, is imagine the water there, or imagine your friend's hand there, and then see what happens with that. However, if your awareness is, no, we're not going there at all, please honour that. There is a time, place and space for trauma release. But the most important thing is, as I said, trauma release is not significant. It's not something you need to think about. It's truly like a kiss. It just comes up. You just know when you want to kiss someone, right? You know the moment, or I call them other things like swelling moments. Like there's a moment where you just know this is a swelling moment, because something really awesome is about to happen or has happened or whatever it is. So and trust that. Trust your innate knowing. However, the thing that I really want to get across to you is, as long as you have separated from your parts, they can't contribute to you and you can't contribute to them. And so that can result in dis-ease or disease. And it also, if you don't have access to them, it's like a car. If you only had access to 3 wheels and the 4th one, there's no wheel there, it's just separated. You can't function. So I really, really want to say to you, if there's a way that you can look at this that's safe and kind, please do. And, what I'm super passionate about is a lot of people, they think that if they just bury it or they just, I've dealt with it, no use bringing it up, I'm just going to focus on the positives. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. That's my point of view. As long as the trauma is in the body, the body is going to keep seeking release. It's going to keep seeking release either through creating pain in that area or disease in that area or dis-ease in that area, or it's going to create an energetic match in the external world. In other words, something you experience. So, if there was terror in the body, it can create an experience in the physical to give you terror. And I don't wish that for you or anybody. So please look at this. Take the time to get to know your body. Your body's been with you all along. If there is no greater friend, someone that's been there all along, keeping you alive. And how often have you spoken to it? And that's not to bring guilt or make you wrong. I'm just saying, just imagine you had a best friend with you and you never spoke to it. And you just made it do things. You never asked, hey, what would you like to wear? How would you like to smell? What would you like to eat? And as much as I'm asking those questions, they're not effective questions if you're only asking half your body or a third of your body. If if your feet have been disassociated. I spoke to a lady who had been tied up in an abusive relationship, and so her feet and ankles and her hands and wrists, she had totally disassociated from. It just brought back that memory. And, this is the thing. How can she touch? How can she walk? How can she pick things up if she's only got a very minimal access to her feet and hands? And also, if those hands have experienced such trauma, unless that trauma's gone, how can they touch in a way that's loving, as in to receive love? She can't receive it. It's disassociated, it's disconnected, it's separate. So you could have the most beautiful being giving you the most amazing touch and kindness and holding your hand and you don't feel it. And as I said, that's an unkindness to you, it's an unkindness to the person touching you, and it's an unkindness to the planet. So if you're willing, if you're listening in and you're not in a domestic violence relationship and you've got a beautiful relationship, maybe spend some time getting to know your partner's body as a beautiful being separate to the being that you're in love with or with. You know, what if you asked your partner's body how it would like to be touched rather than impelling how you would like to be touched onto their body? However, until you've got access to all your body parts and as free of trauma as possible, I'm not there yet. I'm not free of trauma. However, I'm free of the big chunks of it. So, I'm not disabled by it, if you like. And you can get there too, especially if you've had a lot of trauma. You deserve to be touched with love, and you deserve to be held with consciousness. And you deserve to be inspired and empowered by those that you choose to be around with. There's beauty out there. There are colours and just the most amazing experiences ready for you. However, if you're disassociated, can you truly receive them or receive them in totality? So this week, maybe look at that. Maybe look at what parts of your body you've separated from. And also, as I said, pay attention to your partner's body. And I think also, if you're willing, it depends on where you are in the trauma spectrum. But if you're listening and you haven't received trauma, then pay attention to other people's bodies and what they're saying. Because that can help you in business as well. If the being wants to get that contract and says that they can make the deadline, but the body's going, I can't manage that, I'm not going to be able to cope with that, then you can hear that. And then you're not going to actually give that contract to that person and put them in that position to fail. So it's such a kindness to be able to receive information from beings and bodies. Please get they're two different things. I really got that when I died in a car accident. There is definitely the body and definitely the being, and they both have points of views, and they both have awarenesses, and they both have needs. So have a beautiful week. And be kind to yourself. And please get that when you do this disassociated body part healing, it can bring up stuff. So make sure you've got the time that you can, if you need to sleep or you need to cry or you need to go walk in a forest or whatever it is, give yourself that gift. And know that you're okay. Know that you're not wrong. Know that you're not bad. In fact, you're beautiful. And that no matter what's going on, it is going to be okay. Sometimes it's a long rescue for you and your kids. However, you all be okay. That's my wish and desire for you. Okay, take care, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.